If you're looking for me, you can find me. Pimpin' getting riches, grinding. And ain't no use in even trying me. 45 piece beside me. Now let the church say amen again. Church say amen again. Church say amen again. Purse first, ass last, get your bag and win.
What's up, people? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Boy, Coach E-Man, with another episode of the More Life Podcast. As we know, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and I've been doing podcast episodes on sexual assault awareness. First two episodes I did was a two-part episode. I talked about kissing cousins, and today I'm actually going to be talking about family secrets. And so within that realm of family secrets, I had some individuals who were supposed to get on and join with me, but some things happened to where they're not ready to tell their story. They're not ready to talk about some things that happened to them. At first they were, but they thought about it and it couldn't make it. So I understand that, I respect that, and we're good. So what I did was I made a Facebook post and I asked people some questions, of why do we feel like our families hold secrets, especially in the African American community, when we're dealing with pedophiles, child molesters, rapists in our family, especially the African American community family, but in all families, from what I've been reading and stories I've heard, we hide it. We throw it in the closet and we try not to deal with it, and we basically tell people that they can't be around this person alone. They have to be monitored, or they can't be around this person, uncle so-and-so, auntie so-and-so, cousin, brother, whatever. And so I asked some people some questions of the reasons why that they feel like families do that, why do they deal with that. And I got some good responses, and I'm just going to talk about those responses today of why some families do it. To me, I'll talk about the reasons why I think some families do it. I just think it's embarrassment. And I think that they don't want to deal with the truth and handle the situation of the fact that this uncle, this brother, this aunt, this cousin, this sister has done something that they know isn't right, but they feel like if they don't deal with it and they just leave it alone, that it might go away, right? But as we know, those things don't go away. That stuff still happens. It still continues until somebody gets the courage to say, this happened. Or sometimes in some situations, this person passes away, or somebody does harm to the person who did it. Then it's like, oh man, I didn't know this was going on for all these years, but maybe that grandmother knew, maybe that mama knew, maybe that uncle knew, maybe that aunt knew, maybe that grandfather knew what was going on, but yet they still didn't deal with the situation at hand. And then embarrassment, right? Who wants to have that look or notion of my child, my uncle, my aunt, or whatever done this to someone in my family? And now you hear the whispers, you hear the talk, and it's the embarrassment of being in the community, what they're going to say in the community, what they're going to say at church, even at some jobs, they may hear about it. So, people are embarrassed and they don't want to deal with, that. Those are reasons why I feel like they're not dealt with. And it's just swept under the rug, or as we say, skeletons in my closet, right? But some of the feedback that I got, two people, actually three people, they gave me shame. Like I said, embarrassment, and they said that shame makes people do crazy things, even if it damages other. And another person said, rather it's shame, and rather than deal with the root cause, families will cover it up because the fear of what other people think. They don't want to bring shame on the family. So, it is what it is. I would rather bring shame to my family than to allow a cousin, friend, sister, brother, whoever get hurt and have to go through this now cycle of trauma of being touched by someone in their family, and nobody did anything about it but said, oh, you can't go to so-and-so house, or you can't be around this person long. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the BS about it. You know, we will rather look at our family name and be like, worried about what everybody else has to think, worried about what everybody else is saying, than the people that are covered underneath us, the people that we say we love, the people that we say we care about. We would rather mask their feelings, put this wall up of what's going on, and still not deal with the hurt and the trauma that has came to this person that has been molested and touched and made to do things that they probably, well, not probably, that they weren't supposed to be doing at this age. Another person said, well, same thing. Black families that keep secrets protects the family name. That goes apart with shame. We would rather have people think of us in good standing. We would rather have people look at us as a good family, and instead of dealing with those issues. I've seen it with kids who get in trouble, you know, and things like that. You know, some parents will try to cover those things up, knowing that they have this bad kid that does things, but kids grow up, kids be bad, you know, that happens. But when it's to that extent of someone touching another kid, whether they're older or the same age, that has to be dealt with. And that has to be talked about. And that's another thing that I feel like we don't talk about those things in the African American families. And a lot of other families don't talk about it, but I've seen where some do. They talk about those things and they deal with the issue and they get to the root cause of what happened. And I feel like another reason why it's brushed under the rug is maybe the person brushing under the rug was a person that did it themselves, you know, or they've seen others getting it is being done to someone else and they didn't speak about it, or it happened to them and nobody said anything about when it happened to them. So we're gonna brush it under the rug, sweep it under the rug, and just say this is what's going on. But we have to get to the root cause of why this person is doing this and who may have touched this person. You know what I'm saying? Who touched them? Why are they like this? Why do they feel like this is cool to do? You know, so we have to bring those secrets out. We have to talk about those secrets. We have to deal with the trauma, because if not, it's trauma, raising trauma, raising trauma, raising trauma, and so forth. And as we look at some of our families, that is what happened. Trauma has raised trauma and raising trauma and raising trauma, and now we're still raising kids in trauma. And we have to get out of that. Another person said, what did they say? Ignorance, right? He said people don't understand the trauma that rape and molestation have on the victim. Oftentimes, the victim is made to feel alone or guilty into forgiving or hiding their pain, which leads to difficult building and maintaining healthy relationships. I believe that is true. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot of ignorance to it, because a lot of times we don't think about the victim. We don't think about what they're going through, what they felt, what they experienced, what they're thinking, and how they feel. You know, we might love on them and hug on them. Okay, it's gonna be okay, but then that's it. There's nothing else. You know, it's get over it. It happened. Grow up. And I'm telling you this personally from when I've seen this happen to somebody. Their family told them it happened. It's over with. Grow up. But their family never dealt with it. They never got to the root cause of why this person did that to him. It happened. You addressed it. The family didn't address it again. Put into that closet, shut that door, swept under that rug. Well, you can't go over so-and-so house, or you can't be around this person alone. But then when you go to family functions, and we don't think about that, when we go to family functions and you have to see this person that has done this to you, and then this person is trying to still do it to someone else, and probably still trying to get you along with them again to do it again. And instead of them dealing with that person, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's that ignorance. We'll tell the victim, it happened, it's over with, grow up. You know what I'm saying? And not understanding the mental cause that it has on them, not understanding the pain that they felt or feeling and going through. And we're not discussing it. We're not talking about it. We're not trying to help them heal from it. And then, of course, what does that do? It hinders them in their relationships when they grow up. It hinders them with people. It hinders them. And some of us grow hate towards our family now. We're, you know what I'm saying, we're spiteful towards our family because, well, my uncle did this to me and I told my grandmother, but my grandmother didn't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And I went crying to her, I went talking to her, and she didn't do too much anything about it. Just told the family, I can't be around this person alone. This person can't watch me. This person can't do this person can't do that. Instead of dealing with why this person did it and what happened to this person for them to now think it's okay to do to me or whoever else. And then it even opens up the door with how many people has this person done it to. And that's a mental issue. If you're doing it to over and over and over and over and over again, even if somebody says it was wrong, and you're still doing it over and over and over and over again, that's a mental issue. Something is wrong with there. But again, what happened to you for you to feel like this is okay to keep continuing to do, and we don't address those things. We don't at all. Like, I was talking to my cousin, you know, we talked about how we weren't taught molestation, you know what I'm saying? We weren't taught really about pedophiles, you know, we weren't, you know, we heard rape, you know what I'm saying, on TV, but we weren't taught, you know, stranger danger and things like that, right? Because it was something that they didn't speak of. It was something they didn't talk about. So we didn't know if those things are happening to us to say, hey, this happened, it hurt, I didn't like it, you know, but then it goes to, again, what we taught, how comfortable do we feel telling our parents, talking to our parents, and not being blamed for it happening. And that I've seen too, where the victim has got blamed for putting themselves in that position. You don't know what a person is gonna do. You don't know a person's mindset. So you can't be blamed if an uncle, cousin, brother, aunt, friend, sister, whatever touches you or makes you come follow them and say, hey, let's play the kissing game. Hey, let's play mommy and daddy. You know what I'm saying? Let's play house or whatever. And then it leads to something else. And then they're forcing you now every time to continue to do these things. And you're knowing it's wrong or not knowing it's wrong, but I can't go to my mom and dad. I can't go to my grandma, or I did go to my grandma. I did go to my mom and dad, and it wasn't dealt with. I went to grandfather. It wasn't dealt with. It was, oh, you can't be with this person alone, instead of saying, no, this was wrong. It shouldn't have happened. I won't let this happen to you again. Talking to the person who did it. Why did you do this? Who did these things to you? And even honestly, sometimes, you know, you gotta call the police. I hate to say it, you gotta call the police. They gotta get help, because what if this person has done it over and over and over and over again, and you're just covering it up, covering it up, covering it up. You can't keep covering this up. You can't keep hiding that this person has an issue, that this person has a problem, and that this person is hurting someone else in your family. We have to deal with, that's what I say. Call you mad, just put the folks in life. I'm sorry. You know, I would rather you get arrested, go to a mental institution, go wherever you need to go to get help, so that you're not doing this again. Because shutting the door, hiding under, brushing under the rug, hiding in the closet, and just saying, oh, they can't be around this person, is not helping the person that did it grow. It's not getting to why this person is doing it. It's not getting to, well, what happened to you for you to do this? It's not getting to any of that. You know what I'm saying? And I've noticed we don't want to deal with those things. And we have to deal with the issue to get it resolved and to grow from it. And sometimes we don't deal with the issues to try to get that mess resolved. Another comment somebody sent me said, religion. Some people said, he said that people believe that they can pray the perversion away. I'm not saying you can't pray the perversion away. I believe in prayer. I think prayer changes. No, I don't believe in it. I know prayer changes. I know what prayer can do. But also, it's other steps you have to take with just praying. Yes, pray about it. Yes, go to God. Yes, ask God to heal, fix, deliver. But you have to also do your part to address it, to acknowledge it happened, and to help the person heal from it. It can't just be prayer alone. It can't just be, well, I'm gonna leave it in God's hand and that's it. It can't be, I'm gonna leave it in God's hands, don't go over such and such house. But then this other person don't know that this person did it, and then they go over there, and then they're around it. And then they say, well, this happened to my child. And instead of them doing the opposite of, well, we're gonna get this dealt with, they're now praying, and well, we're gonna put this in the closet and shut the door and put a lock on that and act like it didn't happen. And then it continues to happen again and again and again. Prayer works. Prayer changes, but you have to put forth action with that prayer. Acknowledge it, address the situation, get to the bottom of what's going on, because the person that you're trying to pray the perversion away out of, we need to know what happened to that person too, because they need to heal. They need to address who did it to them, and then we need to get that person who did it to them and see what happened to them. Because it's not just out the blue, somebody just woke up and said, ooh, I want to go touch on my cousin. Ooh, I want to go touch on my granddaughter. Ooh, I want to go touch on my nephew or my niece or my little brother or little sister. It ain't just something that they just wake up and do. Something happened to them, and they went and did it because it happened to them. And maybe they think it's okay. That, well, since they did it to me, now that I'm older, I can do it to them. But again, it's a perversion. And some people's minds are just mentally messed up. But still, you do have to pray it away. But we got to acknowledge it. We have to address it. We have to help them heal from it as well. We can't just get on our knees and pray and say, God got it. Lord, let your will be done. It's more to it. We got to get to the center of that, get to the bottom of that problem. What else did he say? Oh, right. He said, fear of legal consequences. Once a person is accused or charged with rape, they will forever be a rapist. I mean, that's the truth. But we can't be afraid of legal consequences that happen to a person that is a rapist or a pedophile or a child molester. We can't be afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? And I get, some people. Well, I was locked up with a guy. I was locked up with a guy, and he was a child molester. And this was like his 5th time back in prison for messing with a kid. And then this guy in particular, oh, Jesus this, Jesus that, but in prison, those dudes do those type of things, go to church, join the Christian barracks, the religious barracks, whatever, to get away from gen population, to get away from people that might do harm to them and things like that, and then it's an act. Oh, and I'm not saying they don't believe in God, but it's an act, that they put on, and they act like they're high and mighty and, oh, I made a mistake and this and that, but then they get out and they do it again. And this guy in particular, he was locked up 5 times for messing with a kid. And his family get out, he's around family again. Guess what he do? Touches a baby, touches a 3-year-old, touches a 4-year-old, and then gets to prison, and then, oh God, this, oh God, that, this, that, and the other. But I don't forgot where I was going with this. But I'm not saying he should have been locked away forever, but oh man, I forgot where I was going with this. Man, I just drew a blank. Where was I at? I said, oh yeah, he'll right. But he's gonna be looked at as a child molester, as a rapist, as a pedophile. And I'm not saying people can't change, but this man was like 5 times for the same thing and never got help for it. He just, oh, I believe in God, oh, I pray to Jesus, but he never went to counseling, he never took any classes, he never did anything to really change or take the perversion out of him. But then he would get back out and he would go and do the same thing again, And so sometimes with that legal stuff, some people need to be locked up. for a long time, not a couple years, a year, not a couple months, but they need to be going through counseling. They need to be going through things to really help change and see what happened to them. And this guy in particular, he was touched. He was touched for some years by one of his uncles, and so he's already messed up. He's already, mind going. But his family never dealt with it. They never did anything about it. They let the uncle still come around the kids. He babysitted, he watched, they never dealt with the situation. And he told his family, didn't do anything about it. And he was an older guy, so I know he grew up in, I think, the 60s and 70s, older guy, and, messed up. But legal consequences do need to be taken. Unfortunately, especially if it's repetitive and you're a repeat offender and you're steady doing it and doing it and doing it and not learning and growing from it, something has to happen. We as a family has to say, enough is enough. You need help. Outside of God, outside of Jesus, you need help. We need to get you help. You got to get convicted because you're not stopping. You're continuing to do it. You're not trying to fix yourself. You're not trying to heal. You're not trying to go. And we're not helping you by not speaking on it. We're not helping you by acting like it didn't happen. We're not helping you by just saying, oh, you can't be around these kids or these certain family members alone. That's not a help to you. We're hindering you with that. We're hindering. You know what I'm saying? We're allowing you to still do this nonsense, to still do this mess. And because nobody knows about it, nobody's hearing about it, they're not turning an evil eye. They're not looking at us. They're not talking about us. So we're fine with that. But yeah, you've touched and you've hurt however many people you've touched and hurt. It's not fair to them at all. What else? Oh, somebody said, no, that's it. Actually, that's it. No, somebody said a spiritual battle. Let me read it. Demonic influences and generational curses. No one acknowledges that rape, pedophilia, and molestation exist in the bloodline. And it's a spiritual battle as much as it is a physical and mental one. I agree. It is a spiritual battle. It is a mental battle. And it may run in the bloodline. It may be a generational curse. It may be something that has happened year after year after year after year to someone else, to someone else, to someone else. Like I said, that's why we have to address it. That's why we have to get to the root of the problem of what happened to this person. Who did it to you? And if we didn't know, which some families know and some families don't know, you know what I'm saying? Then we need to fix it. But those families that did know that this happened to this uncle and he didn't do nothing about it, and now that uncle was doing it to someone else, and now this person is doing it to someone else, that's shame on that family. Because you tried to hide something for years, but yet it kept peeking through. It kept popping out. It kept saying, hey, here I go. And instead of you dealing with it, you shut the door back on again and act like it isn't there. That's what we got to stop doing. We have to address it. We have to acknowledge it. And we have to help the person heal. And I mean both people. Honestly, both have to heal. Because something happened to this person for them to do it to them. And the person that is getting done to, they have to heal so that they can understand and understand that it happened. It won't happen again. I have to trust my family. And when I get older, I have to be able to still open that door for relationships, which is going to be hard because of a person touching you, of a person making you do things. It's going to be hard to open that door for a relationship. That's the healing process that they have to go through. And when ones don't heal, some act out. Some end up doing it. Some end up being promiscuous and being hoes. And then some, they don't trust people. They're not around people. They don't go out and trust men and women on dates. They don't let the kids go around family because, I told my family and my family didn't do anything about it. I don't want my children around this. I want to keep my children safe. And I want to teach my children that this is a no-go. If somebody sends you pictures, if somebody asks you for this, if somebody tries to touch here, somebody tries to touch there, that's a no-go. And you tell me and you talk to me because I wasn't able to be saved by whoever I told, but I want to be able to save you. So you come talk to me. You open that door. But in our families, we have to open that door. I tell my son about it now. If somebody touches you, if somebody tries to send you something, if somebody tries to get you to do something you don't want to do, man, you tell me, and I'll deal with it. I don't care what it is. I said, man, I would deal with it. And I've even asked him when he's went over uh people's houses, hey, did they make you do anything? Did they do anything? Nothing. No. So a little boy video chat uh and moon collars. And Collars like, oh nah, bro. And got off and he told us, well, such and such did this. Oh no. We're not no, oh no, we're not doing that no more. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna deal with that. And we had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's not cool. And again, what they say, boys gonna be boys, but no, you're not video chatting my son and send him a moon and my son letting him see your booty. We ain't even finna start that player. No, sir. Not at all. But we do have to address these issues and we have to let the secrets out. We can't continue to save face and hide the family pedophile, the family rapist, the family molester. We can't. We have to speak on it. We have to deal with the issue. And we have to help the ones that have been hurt heal and stop making them feel like it's their fault. Stop making them feel like they can't talk to anybody. Stop making them feel like they can't trust their family because if anything, you should be able to trust your family. Your family should be the ones who have your back. Granted, not all families are perfect. Granted, you're gonna have beef in some families. You're gonna have misunderstanding in families, but your family should have your back, especially when you say this person has hurt me. This person has touched me. This person has made me do things that I didn't want to do. As a family, forget the shame, forget the name, forget all that. Because what you don't want is the shame and the face you're gonna get that you let this go on for years and it finally got out. And then 6, 7, 8, 9 people come on and say, yeah, well, this person did it to me too. And I told such and such, and they didn't do nothing about it. I'd rather deal with whatever shame gonna come with it or whatever talk people have now than 10, 15, 20 years later, and it's happened to several people. And now they're all coming out saying this person had it. Now you're gonna be looked at as worse. Why would you keep that a secret for so long? Why would you not deal with that? Why would you not help this kid or this person that said this person touched me or they made me do things I didn't want to do? Nah, I'll deal with it now. Hey, this person did this. We need to deal with this. Who did it to you? And then we need to get that person who did it to them because it's a cycle. Trauma, raising trauma, raising trauma, raising trauma. And I'm not the best person on trauma. I'm going through courses to educate myself more on trauma and acknowledge that there's even trauma in my life, right? But we can't continue to hide these secrets. We can't continue to just not do anything. We can't continue to not allow people in our family to heal the right way and not allow them to not feel love. We need them to feel love. We need them to heal the right way so that it doesn't continue to happen in our families. It doesn't continue to happen to another person if we can stop it and we can help it. And then that helping this person heal so that they don't have hate in their heart towards someone in the family who didn't do anything about it. And they don't have hate in their heart towards other people that may try to come into their life, boyfriends, girlfriends, or just friends or whatever. Granted, always keep your guards up because you never know what a person is going to do, so the situation is sticky or you don't feel right, get out of it. But don't not give people a chance to show you who they are. That's what I'm gonna say. Give people a chance to show you who they are. Some people are gonna show you that they're good people. Some people are gonna show you that they ain't, but when you shut the world off because of past hurt, past trauma, you'll never see who are good people and who are really here for you and want to help you grow or want to help you be whatever it is. So yes, we gotta address it, we have to acknowledge it, and we have to get those secrets out those closets. Y'all be safe, be easy, and appreciate y'all for tuning in.